Hi, Doug Masnaghetti here with another guitar lesson. This one is on Pink Floyd's Fearless. This lesson is organized like all my others. I'll do this intro, then I'll do a cover, and then we'll move into the lesson itself. Sounds like somebody has a jackhammer going on up the hill. Sorry about that. I'm going to do the lesson anyway. I'm not going to try to wait for them to stop because I don't know how long it'll be. At any rate, this song was turned out in '71. It was released on their metal album. Roger Waters and Gilmore wrote the song. It's deemed the best song on their album. I personally like Saint-Tropez on metal. And by the way, if you like the metal album, I do have a lesson on Saint-Tropez that I think, based on listening to some other folks doing lessons, I think it's closer to the mark than anything else out there in terms of a lesson. It uses two very funny chords in the verse, and it seems like there's some confusion about exactly what they're doing there. Anyway, I think I'm closer than most. I may not be spot on, but I'm pretty close on Saint-Tropez. Going back to Fearless, sorry about the digression, I played on a 12-string. I think 12-string captures the sound of this tune a lot better than the 6-string, but it still sounds good on a 6-string. Don't need to play on a 12-string. I just like to. It's played in an open G chord, and which makes it, like all open chords, it's really easy to make things sound good. And the song, as a result, really ends up being a rather easy song. I put it at, sort of at the high end of the beginner range, because the transitions are sort of fast, and you want to try to be as clean as you can when you're playing this thing. Because there's not much to it. If you start, flubbing up, it's very obvious. So, without further ado, I guess we'll move on to the cover.
And as I rise above the tree line in the clouds, I'll look down, hear the sound of the things you said today. every day is the right day. And as you rise above the frown line in his brow, you look down, hear the sound of the faces in the crowd.
Okay, so you either just got done listening to or skipped over the cover of Fearless by Pink Floyd. The song is played in an open G tuning. So you want to take your low E up to a G. So I'm always waiting for a string to pop when I do that. Take your A string, your fifth string, take it from an A down to a G. Leave your fourth string alone at a D. Leave your third string alone at a G, and leave your second string alone at a B. And your high E, you want to down tune it to a B, just like your second string. So I think the 12 string captures the sound of this tune better than a 6 string does, so I like to play it on a 12 string, but it certainly sounds good on a 6 as well, so don't let the 12 string get in the way in terms of learning the song. So once you have your guitar tuned, you just start the song just sort of strumming a little bit, and I like to do that upstroke, so something like that. And then, so that was terrible. That's what you want it to sound like. So that's what I break into after, I do an upstroke and a couple of okay, so that's just walking along, the inner 4 strings. I start on covering the first fret on the second string, and you pull off. You hit it. Then the second fret of the third string, pull off. Same thing on the fourth string, second fret, pull off. And then when you hit the fifth string, I slide up. And then I drop my, as soon as I can, get my ring finger covering the third string on the fourth fret. So I'm covering the fifth and the third. Slide them down to the second fret. And then do a couple of fast strums as you prepare to... Okay, so that's... Again, starting out on the fourth fret, covering the fifth and the third string on the fourth fret, and you just walk that up. So you start at the fourth. So the strumming, I think it's sort of, if you just mess with it, you'll sort of get it. Listen to the cover, listen to the real song being played. And so I'm doing both up and down strokes as I walk up. And there's some partial damping going on. So I start at the fourth fret, covering the fifth and the third on the fourth, take it up to the fifth fret, then you walk it up to the seventh, then to the ninth, then to the 11th, and then to the 12th. And you end with a slide down as best as you can. So low strings. So you can do that between walking picking up. And that's another one I do down there, which is just covering the second string on the first fret and the fourth string on the second fret, and you just pull off. So do the walk up. Fourth time through on this, come up to the 5th fret and bar the first 5 strings and try to damp out the 6th. Same thing, just drop it down. So drop it down to the 3rd fret. So I use my ring finger on the 5th and my index finger there, but you can just slide down if you want, however you want to play it. Just cover the first 5 strings. And come to think of it, when I drop down to the 3rd, a lot of times I'll bring the 6th string into it. It's really a matter of preference. You can play the 6th string; it sounds fine. I just think, especially on a 12 string, it's so easy to overpower the notes that are the most salient in making the chord sound like the chord's supposed to sound. So I tend to leave the 6th out, the 6th string out of a lot of my strumming on the song. So anyway, let me just show. So what we have right now so far is we started out with. Emphasis on the head, bottom strings. Fourth time through. So you go from a 5th to the 3rd fret to an open. Do it twice. And that's actually the verse. You're going to do that throughout the verse. The verse incorporates a lot more open chord strumming, but you'll be doing that riff through the verse. So you do that twice. And then you start singing. You say the hill's too high to climb. So I'm just going to do that one more time. You say the hill's too high to climb. So you get the idea. When you get to the part of the verse, you run through that, I think, 3 times, and on the 4th time you through, on the 4th time through, what is the 4th time through? You say it's too high, tried it, I'd like to try climbing. So it is the 4th time through. So, but rather than going to the open after doing the 5th and the drop down to the 3rd fret, take it to the 2nd, and then slide up to the 7th. And I'm strumming all through this, but when I move into the next part, I I'm not being too. I'm being pretty sloppy in picking, but I try to work my way from the lower strings to the upper strings back and forth when I'm doing that picking. So let's just review what we've got now. So we did the intro, right, where we did the walk, and then we into the verse. I'm gonna go slow. You say the hill's too high to climb. Down to an open. Chiding. Fifth, third, open again. Say you'd like to see me try. Fifth, third, open. Climbing. Then to the second fret. You pick the place and I'll choose the time. And I'll climb that hill in my own way. And every day is the right day. And as I rise above the tree line in the clouds, then go up to a seventh. Look down, hear the sound. Back to the fifth. Sounds of the things he said today. Open. And then back into the rev. So you got the idea. That's the bulk of the song. Between the two verses, I do this. You do that walk up, and then so I do it 3 times. And I usually first time through I do that. Second time through third time through I go back to, and then. And I go back to that, and then I hang there, and I hit open, and I do that again, and then I come up to the 11th fret, and I'm covering the 5th and the 3rd string on the 11th. And you probably want to try to mainly emphasize the 5th, the 4th, the 3rd, and a little bit of the 2nd string on this. So you start out on the 11th. I like to slide up into it when I can. Back to the 11th. Back to the 9th. Back to the 11th. All the way up to the 14th. Back down to the 9th. Back to the 11th. Quick. To the 7th. 4, 5, 4. Open. 5, 3, open. So, real slowly then, so you come out of the... second verse from there. And I think that's about it. I'm not sure there's a whole lot more I can show you on it. If you do go on the 12 string, depending on how experienced you are, I found that it's really easy to overpower the vocals with the 12 string. So keep an eye on that. Other than that, I hope this tutorial was helpful.